Hello, welcome everybody to a new lecture of English 3.3. This is somewhat a part of biography of Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking. Now before I proceed, let us see what was Stephen Hawking. Now here it is given Stephen Hawking was born on 18 January 1942. Now he was born on 18th Jan 1942 and he died on 14th March 2018. That is recently 2 years back. The date is not given here. It means that this article was written somewhere when Stephen Hawking was alive. So let us see some details about Stephen Hawking, born on 18 January 1942, an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, author and director of research at the Center of Theoretical Cosmology with the Cambridge University. Now somewhere along the line, when we were studying, we studied about Cambridge University in previous chapter also. Now Cambridge University is in London. What we have to study in English? We have to study grammar, we have to study proper pronunciation, we have to study proper understanding of the English language. We don't have to study here science. So there are many complicated terms, scientific terms, which are not directly related to your portion. नॉलेज के तौर पे ज़रूरी है, but then you don't know it to go into detail. What exactly is cosmology? What exactly is... Yes, cosmology is one of the tough language. Now first is cosmologist. Cosmologist is the person who is studying cosmology. Physicist is a person who is studying physics. Okay? Physicist is a person who is studying physics. Cosmologist is a person who is studying cosmology, and what is cosmology is the science of origin and development of universe. How the universe came into existence, how the universe was developed, how total solar system came up, how life came up, that is what is, how universe was developed, that is what is study of cosmology. And the person who is studying this is a cosmologist, and Stephen Hawking was one of them. Hawking was the first to set out a theory of cosmology explained by a union of general theory of relativity and quantum mechanics. Now यहाँ पे quantum machines दिया हुआ है. There is a printing mistake there. I think I have not checked your digital books also. So machines is not there, but it is quantum mechanics. Okay. So Hawking was the first to set out a theory of cosmology explained by union of two theory of relativity and theory of quantum mechanics. Now what is the meaning of quantum mechanics and quantum theory of relativity? 1 minute, I just need one line here. Cosmology is something you are studying big. Cosmology is something you are studying stars, you are studying earth, you are studying planets, you are studying satellites. So cosmology is something you are studying big, and quantum mechanics is something you are studying small. You are studying atoms, you are studying electrons, you are studying protons. So Stephen Hawking was the first to combine these two studies, the study of the big, that is cosmology, study of the universe, the study of the small or minute, that is study of atoms and molecules, minute particles. So that is what is the mixture of cosmology and quantum mechanics. Now I said that you need not remember this, but just for knowledge purpose I am giving you. We are here to study English. We are not here to study science. So even if you don't remember it, there is no big issue about it. But then for general knowledge, I was sharing it. Hawking is an honorary fellow of Royal Society of Arts (FRSA), a lifetime member of Pontifical Academy of Science, and a recipient of Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the US. He got the highest civilian award. In local people को जो award दिया जाता है, he also earned a very high civilian means local people, high civilian award, Presidential Medal of Freedom in US. So this was a small detail of Stephen Hawking. Now we are going to study what exactly is there in this chapter. This lesson gives us an insight, some knowledge about the great scientist, his life and his works. So we are studying on three aspects of Stephen Hawking. First is how great the scientist was, how was his life, and third, what were his works. So we are going to touch three aspects of Stephen Hawking's life. Now let us study that. This chapter will be completed in two parts. The chapter is very lengthy. So we start our first chapter. Stephen Hawking, born on January 8, 1942. I said he died just for knowledge purpose. He died on 14 March 2018. One thing is there that 42 and 18, if you combine, that was 42 is about 58 and 18, 8, 16, 1 carry 7, 1, 8, 8, 16, 1 carry 6, 1, 7. So he lived almost 76 years. But you will see what is there in this particular chapter. Just, I need not give you mathematical calculation also, but there is something peculiar in this particular chapter. So I shared that how many years he lived. Stephen Hawking is a British scientist, professor and author. Author is writer, professor is teacher, higher education teacher, and author is writer who has done groundbreaking work. Groundbreaking, something new, something original, not copied, something advanced, something latest. Okay. So, who has done groundbreaking work, something very, very important, something very necessary thing. Groundbreaking work in physics and cosmology. I have already told you cosmology is the study of origin and development of the universe, how the universe came into existence, how the universe developed. And whose books have helped to make science accessible to everyone. Okay? And books that have helped to make science accessible to everyone. Accessible, book is available to everyone. Book is written in a very simple language. Book is understandable to everyone. Book is understandable, readily available to everyone, that is accessible. At the age of 21, when he was only 21, he lived for about 76 years. When he was only 21, while studying cosmology at the University of Cambridge, he was diagnosed. कोई टेस्ट किए गए उसके ऊपर, some tests were conducted on him, and he found that he was suffering from one of very not deadly disease, but then something which will hamper him, which will make him handicapped. That is, he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. See, why your hands are moving, why your tongue is moving, why you are walking? Because there are neurons in your body. These neurons are impulse neurons. I'm not cheating against science, I'm just sharing it for the knowledge purpose. These neurons are connected to the brain. These commands are passed to the neurons that raise your hands, eat your food, smell something, okay, pick up a pen, so you are able to do it. What happens, this neuron started to weaken in Stephen Hawking's body, and his body started to get weak. And when this happens, your body gets, if neurons are becoming completely weak, your body becomes paralyzed. Your brain is not able to command through your body. You are not able to move your head, you are not able to move your hands, you are not able to move your legs. You are confined to a wheelchair. आपकी पूरी लाइफ व्हीलचेयर में निकल जाती है because of this. So this was what was diagnosed at the age of 21. Part of his life, this part of his life, the suffering from amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. I use the word, the initials for the same, that is ALS. Part of his life, of his story was depicted, shown, depicted in 214 film, The Theory of Everything. 214, a film came, the film showed The Theory of Everything, The Theory of Everything. This was a film based on the life of Stephen Hawking. We do make films, we made biographical films, MS Dhoni or something, Sanju or something, this type of movies, Mary Kom. Such movies are also made in India currently. So such movies were made some decades back also. So in 2014, not decade but some years back, 2014, about 6 years back, a movie was made on the life of Stephen Hawking. Over the years, as time passed, Stephen Hawking has written or co-written, he himself has written or co-written, written with the help of somebody else, a total of 15 books. A few of the most noteworthy include, okay, what is the meaning of noteworthy? Noteworthy is he has written about 15 books. Some books are worth paying attention. Some books are very, very interesting. That is the meaning of noteworthy. Now, in 1988 he wrote this first book. In 1988. Okay? In 1988 he wrote his first book, Hawkins catapulted. What is the meaning of catapulted? Suddenly he came up. Catapult is you call it bechki something. You have rubber band, you pull this way and then the thing flies up. You try to break fruits or you try to hunt birds with that. That is what is catapult. So how that catapult, you had this catapult thing in your Angry Birds also. Okay. So how when the catapult is pulled, how it flies off. तो वो कुछ ऊपर आ जाता है, तो suddenly यहाँ पे catapult नहीं, somebody did not throw it, but the term is used that how he came into prominence, how he became famous very soon, कैसे उसका जल्दी से बड़ा नाम हो गया. That is what is the meaning, that is catapulted. So in 98 Hawkins catapulted to international prominence, okay, to internationally famous हो गया वो, prominence, famous हो गया with the publication of A Brief History of Time. 1988 he wrote a book, A Brief History of Time. He wrote a book in 1988. A brief history of time. The short, informative book, short, choti, informative, giving good information, became an account of cosmology for masses and offered an overview of space and time, the existence of God and the future. What is this book dealt with? It gave details about cosmology. I gave you what is cosmology. For the masses, masses means for the common people, people who are in this world. It gave them knowledge about cosmology and offered an overview. Now cosmology is very, very big. You might have to write reams and reams of papers for that. But if you want people to understand, you have to write it in short. So it offered an overview, that is small summary with explanation दिया गया. People don't have time to read huge amount of matter, so only small summary was given about cosmology so that people at least understand basics about it. So the short informative book became an account of cosmology for the masses, for the local people, for the common people, and offered an overview, a summary with explanation. It was a summary with explanation of space and time, universe, space and time, the existence of God and the future. What will be the future? There is God, there is space, there is time, days and night. There is God and there is future also. So in this particular book, that is A Brief History of Time, he wrote it in a precise manner, he wrote it in a summarized manner, he wrote it in a proper explanatory manner for the common people about the existence of God, about the space, about the time and about the future. The work was an instant success. Hit हो गई book. The work was an instant success, spending more than 4 years atop the London Sunday Times bestseller list. There are printers, huge printers also. If there are books, there are writers. If there are books, there are printers. If there are books, there are readers. So book is written by somebody, book is printed by somebody, book is read by somebody. So printer, London Times, London Sunday Times, took the responsibility of printing these books, and for past 4 years this book was the bestseller, topping every book's ranking above all other books for past 4 years. So it was the bestseller, people were buying his book, this book which was A Brief History of Time. It sold very hugely during the 4 years. Okay, so what was that? I'll explain to you simple language, complex language. I'll read it again so you'll understand very nicely. The work was an instant success. Hit ho gayi book. The work was an instant success, spending more than 4 years at top. Okay, spending more than 4 years at top the London Sunday Times bestseller list. Since its publication, after it was published, after it was printed, since its publication, it has sold millions of copies worldwide, all over the world, and been translated into more than 40 languages. So what was there in this book? Brief History of Time. There was brief summary of cosmology, brief summary of space, brief summary of time, brief summary of God, brief summary of future. It was the bestseller, sold millions of copies. 4 years it was leading all other books. It was also translated in about 40 languages worldwide. That was the first book. A Brief History of Time, though it sold millions of copies, A Brief History of Time also wasn't as easy to understand as some had hoped. A scientist will be a scientist. He has more knowledge. He will write his words in some complicated sense. So local public might not understand. though millions and copies were sold, though it was 4 years, it was selling, leading other books, though it was published in 40 language, but then the writing was complex, many people could not understand it. तो क्या हुआ? So in 2001, Hawking followed up his book with The Universe in a Nutshell. The Universe in a Nutshell. Now what is a nut? ज्यादातर मूंगफली को बोलते हैं नट. तो मूंगफली ऑल्सो कम्स विद अ बिग शेल. भून के रस्ते पे भैया लोग भून के देते हैं ना, तो यू दैट इज अ वेरी स्मॉल शेल. तो व्हाई इट हैज बीन कंपेयर्ड विद नट शेल? यू आल्सो से दुनिया मेरी मुट्ठी में. तो मुट्ठी में वर्ड इज नॉट देयर. व्हाट वर्ड इज देयर? You are speaking about universe in a very small book. Universe is a very big thing. You cannot explain it in one book, but then that universe was explained in a very simple manner, in a very precise manner, in a very summarized manner. Therefore the name of the book, The Universe in a Nutshell. मतलब एक मूंगफली के छिलके में जैसे कर दिया है. So it is an idiom thus here, the universe in a nutshell. Okay, in a very small book. Hawking followed up his book with The Universe in a Nutshell, which offered a more illustrated guide. A brief history of time was only written, but then Universe in a Nutshell had illustrations, had pictures, had graphics to support the writing. Had pictures, had graphics, had illustration to support the writings, to support the cosmology's big theories, so that people, if don't understand the complex term, they can look at the picture, they can look at the illustration, they can look at the graphics and understand it properly. So Hawking followed up his book with The Universe in a Nutshell, which offered a more illustrated guide to cosmology's big theories. In 2005, one more book, 2005, Hawking wrote the even more accessible A Briefer History of Time. This was a brief history of time. He comes up with a book, Briefer History of Time. More accessible. There might be complex language here. So here he wrote this book with a very easy language. Much more clearly, the language that was written was expressed more clearly, more understandable. ठीक है? In 2005, Hawking authored the even more accessible A Brief History of Time, which further simplified the original work's core concepts and touched upon the newest development in the field like string theory. Okay, what is given? Core, central, basic. Okay, and string theory is something studies pertaining to advanced physics, so we need not go into detail that. String theory is something pertaining to advanced physics. So what is that? His book was simple. The third book he wrote, A Briefer History of Time, after A Brief History of Time, was more accessible, was more clear, was more simple, was simplified to the original work. This was the original work. This was second book written, part 2 of this, which was more simple. Okay, and original works, core concept, whatever things were there, they were repeated here with simplicity, with more simple terms, and touched upon the newest development in the field like string theory. From 1988 to 2005, there might be something new development, there might be something new inventions, there might be something new discovery. So something which was not there, the string theory, one of the studies of physics, was not there in the time of 1988. That particular string theory was included in the book of 2005. In 2005, Hawking authored the even more accessible A Briefer History of Time, which further simplified the original work's core concepts and touched upon the newest development in the field like string theory. Together, these three books, A Brief History of Time, The Universe in a Nutshell, A Briefer History of Time, these are three books. Together, these three books, along with Hawking's own research and papers. If books are written, there are plenty of rough papers where research is done. Okay? Articulate, outline, explain. Together, these three books, along with Hawking's own research and papers, articulate the physicist's personal search for science, Holy Grail. Okay? Now, Holy Grail is a thing which is eagerly pursued or sought after. Now, this is something very complex term, Holy Grail. Holy Grail is something यहाँ पे referring to God है. Okay? Somebody is following God, pursued. Somebody is sought after, asking from God. Okay? So here something they are speaking about God. यहाँ पे आपके पेज पे, on this page you have been given the photo of Stephen Hawking and how he is sitting on his wheelchair. This wheelchair is you can say properly, everything is there, movement is there, battery operated, it can move from one place to another place. Very hi-fi chair is this. A single unifying theory. Together, these three books, along with Hawking's own research and papers, articulate, outline, explain the physics' personal search for science, Holy Grail. What was Holy Grail here? A combination. A single unifying theory. दो थियरी को मिला के एक थियरी बनाया गया. दो थियरी को मिला के एक थियरी यूनाइट करके एक थियरी बनाया गया. That is a single unifying theory that can combine cosmology plus quantum mechanics. Cosmology plus quantum mechanics. I said before, these are two different theories. This is the theory of big, theory of study of universe, theory of study of planets, theory of satellites, and this is a theory of small, minute, study of atoms, study of molecules. So he made a new theory. He combined these two theories to get a new theory. A single uniting theory that can combine cosmology, the study of the big, with the quantum mechanics, the study of the small, to explain how the universe began. Okay? We already say that life began from a very small thing. Okay? Though the universe are very, very big, but then life began with a small thing. Now, it's this kind of ambitious thinking that has allowed Hawking, who claims he can think in 11 different dimensions, to lay out some big possibilities of humankind. Though he made one theory, but from that theory he can take out 11 more dimensions, 11 more theories, he can prove 11 more facts, he can prove 11 more features or 11 more aspects from this. Okay, so he combined these two theories, and his ambitious thinking allowed Hawking, who claims, his claim was that from this theory he can take out 11 more aspects, he can take out 11 more features, and this will help to develop the humankind. Okay, this will lay out some big possibilities of humankind. There might be something more possible which we cannot think right now. 50 years back we could not have imagined that we could have spoken to people wirelessly on mobile. We could not have imagined about 100 years back that we could have seen live something happen, cricket matches in some countries, we could have been enjoyed that live here. But that has been possible. So there is possibility that something more can come up in distant future. What are they? He convinced that time travel is possible. Now you have already seen this in sci-fi movies. Sci-fi, science fiction movies. Time travel. People are going into future. People are going into past. So this particular scientist, Stephen Hawking, was saying that time travel was possible and the human may indeed colonize other planets in the future. Human beings can start living on other planets in future. Colonize, make homes on other planets in future. That is what Hawking said with his theory, combination theory of cosmology and quantum physics. In September 2010, Hawking spoke against the idea that he wrote another book, 2010. He wrote another book. What was that book? The Grand Design. The Grand Design. In September 2010, Hawking spoke against the idea that God could have created universe in his book Grand Design. We have our own belief. Every religion has their own belief. What is the belief? That God has created this universe. But scientists are made up of something different mindset. There are many scientists who don't believe in God. They think that anything is created because of science. So here also his statement was there that he was trying to say against this particular thing. People believe that God created universe. He was going against this side, that he was against this idea that God might have created this universe. He was speaking negatively about it in his particular book Grand Design. Hawking previously argued that belief in a creator could be compatible with modern scientific theory. Before writing this book, The Grand Design, he had his belief in God. He said that belief in God and scientific theory both can be combined, both can be studied together. Hawking previously argued that belief in a creator means God. Belief in a creator could be compatible, could be adjustable, can exist together without any problem. Creator as well as science, God as well as science can exist together without any problems. Okay? Compatible with modern scientific theories. Belief in God is one thing and scientific theories are one thing. Both can be compatible, both can go hand in hand together. His new work, however, now this was before he wrote The Grand Design. His new work, what was his new work? The writing of the Grand Design. However, concluded that Big Bang was the inevitable. Okay, Big Bang was unavoidable. What exactly is Big Bang? Again, I am saying, sharing a small knowledge. It was something. See what happens here. Suppose if you burst a firecracker. If you burst a firecracker, some parts go and fall. This burst and some parts go and fall here and there, scatter here and there. They scatter about. So what is being said that here about 13.2 billion years ago there might have been a big bang and universe might have been created. Earth was there, Saturn was there, something they got scattered in the universe. That is what is Big Bang theory is there of science. For which there is no particular proof. For which there is no particular proof, but the Big Bang theory still exists. His new work, however, concluded that the Big Bang was inevitable, that is, the Big Bang cannot be avoided. The theory of Big Bang has to be accepted, consequence of the laws of physics and nothing more. His new work, however, concluded that the Big Bang was the inevitable consequences, unavoidable consequences of the laws of physics and nothing more. This Big Bang theory was because of physics and nothing more. Because there is a law such as gravity, the universe can and will create itself from nothing. We have a law of physics that there is a gravity. We are able to stand on the ground. So we have created a law, there is gravity. So if this law is there in physics, so the universe can and will create from nothing. Universe will continue to create and universe can create more and universe can continue to create more. Universe can and will create itself from nothing. कुछ नहीं भी रख दो, even if something nil is there, suppose there is some planet where there is no life, but maybe billions of years later there will be life on that planet because there is gravity on that planet. So that particular planet, in that universe, there will be creativity, there will be the universe might create itself. Hawking said, spontaneous, sudden, achanak, spontaneous creation is the reason there is something rather than nothing, why the universe exists, why we exist. Spontaneous creation, sudden creation is the reason. Sudden creation is the reason that there is something, kuch hai, there is something rather than nothing because of spontaneous creation. Why the universe exists, why we exist. That is what is there because of spontaneous creation. That is what is because of what might be spontaneous, the Big Bang might be spontaneous. Okay? The Grand Design was Hawking's first major publication. The Grand Design was Hawking's first major, big, huge publication in almost a decade. Decade means 10 years span. Decade. 10 साल को decade कहा जाता है. Remember that. Within his new work, Hawking set out to challenge Sir Isaac Newton's belief. Now, scientists also challenge other scientists. And this is healthy. If you challenge other scientists, then only you will be able to discover something new. So here Hawking was challenging Sir Isaac Newton. Within his new work, Hawking set out to challenge Sir Isaac Newton's belief that the universe had to have been designed by God simply because it would not have been born from chaos. What is chaos? Disorder or confusion. What is written? Isaac Newton said that universe have been designed by God. And what was Isaac Newton's belief was that the universe had to have been designed by God simply because it could not have been born by chaos. Chaos means, I said, disorder or confusion. Disorder or confusion कब होगा? जब there will be Big Bang, there will be spontaneous reaction. So Isaac Newton was saying that there was no Big Bang, there was no spontaneous reaction. This world, this universe cannot be created because of chaos. This universe was created by God, and this was being challenged by Stephen Hawking. It is not necessary, Hawking's statement, it is not necessary to invoke God, call God or pray to God to light the blue touch paper and set the universe going. Now here is a very complex idiom, to light the blue touch paper. Okay, blue touch paper, to light the blue touch paper. What exactly is the meaning of that? It is that something which causes excitement as well as anger. It's something which causes excitement or anger. It is said to light the blue touch paper. कोई चीज तुमको हैवी खुशी दे देवे या कोई चीज तुमको ज्यादा गुस्सा दिला देवे, तो that is something is said to light the blue touch paper. Okay, so he says it is not necessary to call on God, it is not necessary to pray God to, okay, to have something excited or have something which will make us angry and set the universe going. तो गॉड को बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है कि यूनिवर्स बनाओ. ओके, नॉट नेसेसरी टू इन्वोक गॉड. इट वाज द बिग बैंग थियरी. Stephen Hawking was believing in Big Bang. Suddenly there was a bang, spontaneous reaction, all planets took their position and the world was born. Isaac Newton was something a bit pious person. He said that God created this universe. So there were conflict of interest between Stephen Hawking and Sir Isaac Newton. At the age of 21, when he was 21, okay, he born in the year 58. Okay, at the age of 21, जब वो 21 साल का था, what happened? At the age of 21, Stephen Hawking was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS. This was at a very, very young age. Okay, or Louis Gehry's disease. This might be something Greek word or something complex word for this particular disease. In very simple sense, the nerves that controlled his muscles, the neurons which was present in his body, were shutting down, were dying, were stopping. At that time, doctors gave him 2.5 years to live. When he was 21, doctors said that you will live only for 2.5 years. And what happened? He lived for about 76 years. By this willpower, by the mental power. Doctors said that you will live for only 2.5 years, and he lived for about 76 years. He was diagnosed with ALS at a very early age. Hawking first began. Now what is ALS and what was being noticed? Hawking first began to notice problem with his physical health while he was at Oxford. How there is a Cambridge University, there is one Oxford University also. So he was starting noting that there is something different going on into his body. There is something changes going on into his body. On occasion, on occasion, he would trip and fall. He would just trip and fall down or slur his speech. He would get mix up. He would mix up his words. He would stutter. तोतलापन आ जाता है जबान में जैसे. Okay. So Hawking first began to notice problem with his physical health while he was at Oxford. On occasion, he would trip and fall or slur his speech. He didn't look into problem until 1963. Up till 1963, 58. Okay, he was born. Now 63 something. It was 1858, no? No, 1958. 1942. Okay, he was born in. We have right. Okay, he was. This was calculation I was taking. 42 he was born. So 63. 63 that is he is 21. He didn't look into the problem. Okay, he didn't investigate. He didn't think that it was a very big thing. He did not look into the problem until 1963 during his first year at Cambridge. So when you are very learned person, when we are qualified person, then you have visited many university. So he visited Oxford University, he visited Cambridge University. For the most part, Hawking had kept these symptoms to himself. He did not tell anybody that he is tripping and falling, his voice is getting slurred. Okay, तो ये बताया नहीं उसने किसी को. But when his father took notice of the condition, but his father noticed, father will be father, there is some changes in my child. He took Hawkins to see a doctor. For the next 2 weeks, the 21-year-old college student made his home at a medical clinic, where he underwent a series of tests. For about 15 days, next 2 weeks, he was made to stay in hospital, and multiple tests were performed on him. ठीक है? So this was half the life of Stephen Hawkins. We will continue with this chapter in the next lecture. Thank you very much.